Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands we're joining from today.
I'm joining from Lisarow on the lands of the Darkinjung people.
And I am joining from the lands of the Nyungbul people of the Bundjalung Nation. We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. We acknowledge their deep and ongoing connection to land, waters, language and culture, and recognise that sovereignty was never ceded. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land.
We're all trying to work out how AI fits into our everyday work, what's actually useful and what's just noise. Louise Cummins is a senior marketing and transformation leader. These are the women leading in tech, so who better to learn from? This is how Louise is using AI.
So in terms of why I decided to go into this, I've always been intrigued by change and tech and disruption, but I also realized that the playbook of how organizations did change was going to have to be very different. So for me, this is kind of a little bit like getting a chessboard and all the players and just throwing it up in the air, right? This is so big. So it's showing disconnect with I'm mixing up analogies, but it's metaphors. It's kind of like shining a light on glass that was kind of sticky taped together with masking tape, and it all looked fine from the surface. But when you put the light on, there's disconnect between ELT, it's showing exposures with data and tech and culture and strategy and all the rest of it. So I found that kind of really interesting. And I suppose I was really intrigued about how you unpack that to actually support people going through it. As part of that sort of level setting, I really believe in having your true North Star. So what is it that you're using AI to do? So I think Tony from UNICEF is amazing. And I remember he said something which I thought was such a great North Star, which was, we are going to use AI to stretch our organisation, not shrink it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very deliberate that that's how he's going to use AI. So I feel like it is a real importance in actually going, why are you doing this in the first place?
Yeah, that's super. So finding the purpose, what's the purpose of what's the purpose of this AI? It's almost like redefining your own mission statement, but with AI.
Yes, exactly. So every day I was like, I want to try and really learn myself, learn what's working, what's not working. So I started to try and sort of map it out in a way that actually I could learn every day. And then it didn't start off as a book, but it was then naturally gravitated towards like, well, if I can give this and it helps, one or two people, then it's worth it.
What's one idea from the book that you really hope lands with your readers?
That reinvention is endless and it's not a destination.
You can hear the full conversation with Louise Cummins on Fembot next week, where we talk about leadership, change, and AI in practice. So that's it for this episode of Fembot, the podcast powering women in tech. If you liked what you heard, hit subscribe and share.